They say
That's-
we can't write movies or films, right? But we gon' do it, Barry! We gon' do it!
Hey, what's up? It's your boy back for another tier list. Today, we're gonna be ranking Brockhampton songs. Brockhampton is a hip-hop boy band with a bunch of members. We got Kevin Abstract,
Yo, it's Kevin Cinema representing Brockhampton, greatest
Boy band in the world,
ex-member
Amir.
We have
Dom.
Mad Champion.
I'm Bareface.
and a bunch of other members, producers, management, creative team. So today I'm gonna be ranking their songs. Alright, starting with their first mixtape, All American Trash. I'm not gonna talk too much about this one because it's not really a good album. The group is still figuring out their voice, their style. I'm just gonna put most of these songs in C tier. There are a few tracks that I think are good. Encino is a really creative skit, a nice way to start off this mixtape. Ben Carson is a decent banger. Infatuation might be the best song on this mixtape. And I like Home, which is essentially a 5-minute Bareface ballad, but you know what, Bareface is he's amazing.
I got pipe dreams of crack rocks and stripper poles.
Moving on from there, we got the group's first studio album with Saturation 1. Heat is easily S tier. This might be my favorite Brockhampton song. Yeah, if you're a normal person, you know, a normie, you probably won't like this song at all. Yeah, it's pretty out there. It's really abrasive, aggressive. Like, it honestly sounds really messed up, and I love it. Cold is definitely more smooth, more listenable. A tier. Star is a classic in the band's discography. I heard they were like playing the song 6 times in a row at their concerts. I'm gonna put it in A tier as well. Boys is a bit of a mediocre track. C tier. Next we have Fake. I like the
chipmunked vocals on this song. You know what I'm talking about, boy?
B tier. Bank, also C tier, not really one of my favorites. Same with Trip, I don't really come back to this song often. Swim, however, is amazing. Bump, also A tier. I love how the song balances the aggression and also the softer, more somber parts. Cash is really catchy. I love the hook on this song. Get money. Big bands, Next we got Milk, one of the band's most personal songs, and I think it's absolutely gorgeous. I love all the verses. Merlin talking about, you know, dropping out of college. Amir talking about some messed up things too. And Dom's little spoken word outro at the end is honestly one of the most beautiful things I've heard in my life. This one's easily S tier. Face, I did like this song when it first came out, and I still do like it, but not as much as before. It is a bit repetitive. B tier. And to finish off Saturation 1, we have Waste, which is another Bareface guitar ballad. Bareface can make anything sound beautiful, you know. He could be reading off Hitler's daily journal and make it sound like the most heavenly thing in the world. Like, he could be reading off a terrorist manifesto and he can still make it sound like the most beautiful thing you've ever heard. Yeah, easy S tier.
First off, Dolce & Gabbana. Racist mother suckers tryna be my father.
Moving on from there, we have Saturation 2, the one with all the bangers. Starting it off, we got Gummy. I think this song is a really good intro to the group if you've never heard of them before. The song captures their spirit, their energy really well. Yeah, easy S tier for me. Queer, really hot banger, really catchy. A tier. Jello, again, with the
Chipmunked vocals. This one's going in, I'm gonna put it in A tier, yeah.
Swamp is a pretty good banger. B tier. Tokyo, I like this song a lot, but I don't really come back to it often, even though it's a good song. I'm gonna put it in B tier. Same with Chick. This might be my least favorite song on Saturation 2, which is crazy because it's still a good song. It's still a solid song by the group. Next we got one of the most disturbing yet forward-thinking yet dark and aggressive and insane cuts on any of their albums. Junkie, hands down, it has to be S tier. Fight is another excellent banger. I absolutely love that fiery and just like head bopping outro on that song. Sweets is surprisingly the most popular song on this album. It is pretty funny, it is iconic. Gamba is gonna be B tier, and the last two tracks here, I've probably listened to both of these songs like way more than the rest. Summer is my personal favorite Brockhampton song. I mean, like, come on. It's Bareface. Sunny A tier, Summer is S tier.
I just wanna know where the party at. I just wanna 24/7 thinking about you.
And moving on from there, Saturation 3. It's crazy to think they released all three of these amazing albums in the course of 1 year. Like, that's insane to me. Starting off with Boogie, this is gonna be S tier. You know, it might not be like deep or super personal, but it's just a classic hanger. Zipper is A tier. I love how bouncy the song sounds, and that Tony Fantano line is a classic. Johnny, I love the production on this song, but I'm gonna put it in B tier. I just don't come back to it often. Next, we got Stupid. This was a really catchy song with another excellent hook. A tier. Bleach, oh my god, so good, so amazing. This is the actual definition of nostalgia right here. Easy S tier. Alaska is one of the more sleepier hits, C tier. Next, we got the most pop inspired. I mean, it's basically a pop song, Hottie. Honestly, I'm gonna put it in S tier. I really love this song. Same with Sister Nation, which is a really dynamic and creative and aggressive bing bong banger. Rental, I love Matt Champion's singing on here. Great stuff, A tier. Stains, B tier. And to cap it all off, we have I absolutely love the first half, which is just Bareface, but then it transitions into this low energy outro, and it's nowhere near as interesting as the first half. Let's give this song a bouncy B tier. And there we have it, Saturation 1, 2, and 3. And after this point in the band's career, something awful happened that shifted their trajectory forever. Amir got kicked out of the band. Regardless of your thoughts on this situation, this had a huge impact on Brockhampton's music. And between this and their next album, the group still managed to drop 3 poppin' singles. The first being 1999 Wildfire. This one is pretty good, B tier. 1998 Truman, which is personally my favorite out of the 3. I love that beat switch. I love that emotional outro at the end. A tier. 97 Diana is a really solid, bouncy, energetic banger. A tier as well.
Got issues with these motherfuckers looking down from their pedestals, from that petty view on that petty shit. Pray for peace with a knife in my hand.
Iridescence is a polarizing album. This project goes for a more noisy, industrial, and glitchy sound. I personally think this album is overly hated. New Orleans is a pretty good intro, B tier, and it transitions nicely into Thug Life, which is slightly better and more personal, more heartfelt. A tier. Next we got Berlin, which might be my least favorite on the album. Our very first D tier, Where the Cash At sounds like a drill song, which is nice, I guess. It's different. I'll put it in B tier. Then we have Wait, which is easily one of the group's most emotionally vulnerable songs. This might be Kevin Abstract's best verse. I'm gonna put it in A tier. District is an over-the-top, insane, zany banger. I do like parts of it, but overall, I'm gonna drop it in C tier. Tape is one of the more somber cuts on here, C tier. Then we get one of the absolute highlights of Iridescence with Juvert. This might be Brockhampton's most angry and like aggressive song, and that's saying something, especially with songs like Heat and Junkie and Sister Nation existing. Joba absolutely goes hard on this. Easy S tier. Honey is one of those songs that's meant to be played in the background of like those club scenes in movies like John Wick. A tier. Vivid is C tier. San Marcos and Tanya are perfect songs in my opinion.
Alright, good. Alright, this is what perfection sounds like.
These two songs here are the emotional centerpiece of Iridescence. I love the beautiful choir outro on San Marcos, and Tanya has some gorgeous instrumentation. And to finish off this insane journey, we got Fabric, which is gonna be B tier.
Oh, you got your own shit and all of it together.
The final part of this tier list, we have Ginger. Instead of focusing on the hot poppin' bangers, the boy band goes in a more somber and sad vibe. Case in point, No Halo. Immediately you're plunged into some real sad boy shit. No Halo gets a fat A tier. Moving on from there, we got the iconic, the most popular, the class favorite. This one is hands down S tier. Boy Bye is one of the more upbeat songs on here. It does sound kind of weird, but I do like that. I'm gonna put it in B tier. Saint Percy, one of the more forgettable tracks. C tier. If You Pray Right, solid banger. I love the horns on here. This one's gonna go into A tier. Same with Dearly Departed, which in my opinion is Brockhampton's most emotionally intense and heavy song that they've dropped, especially going into some of the details regarding Amir's departure. I've Been Born Again is gonna be C tier. Ginger, the most underrated song on Ginger, A tier. Big Boy and Love Me for Life, both tracks I'm not really huge fans of, kind of forgettable to be honest. C tier. To close out not just this album but this video I'm making, we have
my fucking Power Rangers couldn't protect me from that.
What steals the show is easily the outro. Again, Brockhampton absolutely killing it with the outros. B tier, but it's a really high B.
I hit the bank with a smile on my face, man.
That's it. As always, give this video a juicy like and subscribe. Thank you. Peace out.
And if you're hurting